Welcome to Literary AF Podcast.
Well, salutations and I was trying to think of another one. Some old timey hello. Hi, this is Literary AF Podcast. My name's Sheldon.
I'm Danni.
And we're here today to talk to you about something very special. Something you would never predict. What are we talking about, Danni?
Books.
A book. Yeah. I am sick, and that's why my voice is sounding extra sexy today. Danni, are you sick or?
No.
Okay, so Danni's fine, which means we can let her really steer this one.
Oh, okay.
Also, I haven't read any books, so Danni's definitely going to steer this one. What book are we talking about, Danni?
I wanted to actually talk about a book. It's called My Fake Rake by Eva Leigh.
Okay.
It's I actually received an advanced copy of this
Oh, look at you.
months ago. A couple months ago now, and it's just been sitting on my Kindle because the actual release day is tomorrow.
Okay.
But I guess by the time people hear this podcast, it will be today or yesterday. It comes out on the 22nd of 26th of November.
Hey, that's my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fun fact, my birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, well.
I'm turning 33 years young.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, it comes out November 26th. And it is historical romance.
Okay.
Because you can tell because it has the word rake in the title.
Yep.
I've actually never read anything by this author before, but she seems to be quite prolific.
Ooh, what's her name?
Her name is Eva Leigh.
Okay.
And it looks like she writes like tons of historical romance stuff. So
The name Eva Leigh to me is like, that's the name that like a comic book bad guy would have, like, and it's like nobody knows they're evil, even though like if you say their name fast, it sounds like evilly.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, and somehow they fooled everyone, and then they put it together like Evil Leigh.
Eva.
Yeah.
Eva Leigh.
But if you say it fast.
Yeah. But she is a nice person, though.
I've never met her. I don't think she's a comic book villain.
I'm pretty sure she's not. I've interacted with her on Twitter a couple times, so.
Did she say like curses or "oh, you blasted podcasters"?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Actually, the original thing that like really drew me into this book was just this cover.
Ooh,
is super pretty.
Oh, I like that.
It's like purple and red, and it's got like a clash thing going on, and I really, really like the color scheme.
Yeah, those are good. That's a good palette.
Yeah, and so the setup for this book, she called it like 80s movie theme.
Okay.
I think the whole series is gonna be kind of themed like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The setup for this book, like the prologue chapter, these 5 boys basically get sent to detention.
Breakfast Club?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely the setup for the Breakfast Club. Like these 5 kids from like different social situations and friend groups and stuff end up spending the day together in detention. And I'm about 70% of the way through the book right now. Okay. But I wanted to talk about it because it's coming out so soon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to try to finish it up tonight, so...
You could pretend like you've already finished, and then that we're just not saying the ending because of spoilers.
We could.
We've already admitted that you haven't, but fans, just forget what we just said. And, yeah.
Well, I want to try to finish it tonight, so by the time this episode goes up, I'm not lying.
Oh,
so,
I see.
I'm going to put a review for it on Goodreads once I'm done, so if anybody follows me on Goodreads, you can check it out there later.
Oh.
So the actual, like, aside from the Breakfast Club thing going on, the setup for this book is like it's a reverse My Fair Lady.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the heroine of this book, Grace, is she's a bit of a wallflower, and she's like super smart, which doesn't get her a lot of attention from the guys.
Okay.
In a historical romance, usually the smart ones are usually the ignored ones.
Yeah, she's that one Bennett sister that nobody talks about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That Bennett sister.
The one of them.
But she's like scientist smart, and she studies like reptiles and amphibians and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And her best friend, his name is Sebastian, and he's also like a nerd. They're both huge nerds in this book, and it's like super adorable. But they have like we're best friends. We don't have any feelings for each other kind of thing going on.
Oh, I see.
Until her dad has he has a heart attack or something. He lives, but he's like, well, when I die, nobody's gonna take care of you, so you have to get married. You know, you got to get married right away.
Yeah.
And she has this crush on this other guy whose name I completely forget right now.
I'm gonna say that it is Dimitri.
It is not Dimitri, no.
Okay.
And she has this crush on this guy who is, he's like her friend, not Sebastian, this third guy. He's her friend, and he said to her like a couple times, I wish I could find a smart woman like you to marry. Oh. And she's like had a crush on this guy forever. Oh,
I'm very familiar with those.
So she's friend zoned a little bit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's the like actual classic definition of friend zone, not the like modern one where it's just like, oh, somebody rejected me, they friend zoned me.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if somebody actually says something like, oh, I wish I could meet a guy who's as nice as you. Yeah. You're in the friend zone then.
And her plan is to, I guess, get this guy to see her as an eligible woman.
Ooh.
And their whole scheme is that her friend Sebastian, the nerdy boy, is going to dress up hot and turn himself into like a high society rake.
Oh, okay, fun.
Yeah. And then he's going to, you know, start flirting with her and dancing with her, and then people are going to start noticing her as like a prospect, I guess.
Oh, I love this. First off, I love convoluted schemes of any kind. Disguises are always my favorite. Uh-huh. And, well, those are only two things, but those are two very solid things that I like.
So, yeah, that's their plan, is they're going to, you know, turn him into a high society boy and hope that they get the attention of this third dude.
Okay.
Second dude to, I guess, notice her.
This is very 80s movie setup.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of, unless things take a drastic turn in the next 30% of the book.
Dysentery sweeps through the village.
Yeah, unless
everyone
things
slowly
take
dies.
like a hard left. This book is super fun. It's very lighthearted, and it's very it's not rom-com-y, but there's like some comedic points to it. I got a couple chuckles out of it.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And I definitely love like the 80s movie vibe is really working. It's working real well. It's the first book in a series called The Union of the Rakes.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the other ones are going to be. I think she's mentioned it on Twitter before. Like, she's got some movie plot kind of things planned out. But
they're gonna form a like Justice League type situation of these rakes.
I don't think so. But, you know, who knows? The last one could be like an Avengers movie.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe. The next one's actually called Would I Lie to the Duke? So let's see if there's actually a description on here.
Ooh.
No, there's nothing on this yet. This doesn't even have a release date on it, so.
Well, you said this first book is just coming out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the first one's just coming out tomorrow. And, it's pretty good. I'm really liking it.
It's crazy that you're getting all these like advanced releases and stuff.
Well, it's not super hard to do. Mm-hmm. There's a couple websites. You can go to like NetGalley and you can sign up with your email address.
Oh.
And there's another one called Edelweiss.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
I had a random person reach out to me on Goodreads, and they wanted to send me a copy of their book. And it actually sounded atrocious, and I was like, really like, I need to get my hands on this book. And it's like, it was like Eagle, Fury, Liberty or something.
Okay.
And it's like about like a super secret American spy. But so it sounds like it's like a Grisham book, but like also if it was like written by like a moron. So I just like, I love the sound of it. And then the guy never got back to me after that.
Right. Maybe because he knew you were going to be a dick about it.
Oh, I was very, like, I'm good at getting weird media out of people. And I was, like, showing full attention.
You do have a habit of, like, collecting weird assortments of
I do meet strange
media,
people,
yeah.
and they often present me with their books and movies and other nonsense. Albums.
Albums, yes. Weird handmade DVDs of their homemade movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah. If we ever start a movie podcast, we're talking about Star Robots. So, for this book,
Yes.
you said you're like 70% of the way through?
Yeah.
What's your predictions for the end?
I mean, it's a romance novel.
So you think they might end up together?
Wait,
which couple?
Oh, I have no doubt that it's going to be the nerdy boy who dresses up like
Sebastian.
Oh yeah, Sebastian. Yeah. That's the thing about romance novels is there's not a lot of guesswork when it comes to who's hooking up with who.
Yeah.
Even when there's like a love triangle type situation going on, it's not really a huge question mark.
Yeah, that bothers me a little bit, especially if it's a love triangle.
Right.
I want there to be like some sense of like, oh, I wish it would be Jacob.
See, that's more of like a YA thing.
Yeah.
Or just a straight up like fantasy or fiction novel kind of thing. Whereas like romance novels are usually super clear because they rotate point of views.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have a chapter with the heroine, and then you'll have a chapter with the hero, and then you'll switch back to the heroine. So if it wasn't that hero that you're getting the point of view of...
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That would be really, really weird,
I guess you could write one with like 3 point of views.
You could?
And then that'd be a good triangle.
That's what Twilight did.
Yeah, but you only see Jacob's perspective like...
a handful of times.
Yeah, and then do you ever see Edward's?
Oh, no, you don't. You never see Edward's.
Yeah.
Oh, you do just get Bella and Jacob.
Yeah, so... That's it. I'm writing Stephanie Meyer's a letter. No.
Huh. Well, I think the point of view switch, not that Twilight isn't a modern thing, but older romance novels didn't have that.
Yeah.
I believe that like it's a newer kind of thing in the last couple decades anyways.
Yeah, I could see that. Has there been a like an Austen book where it's kind of unclear who she's going to end up with? Maybe Sense and Sensibility?
I mean, it's hard to say because they're so ingrained in modern media now.
Yeah.
That you go into the books already knowing what's going to happen. If you went in completely blind, I think it would be a little more of a question.
Maybe Persuasion? I don't remember how Persuasion ends.
Persuasion ends with Captain Wentworth. No, that's clear from the start.
Oh, yeah. That's Anne and Captain Wentworth.
Yeah, that's pretty clear from the start. She's been pining after him since the beginning of the book. So if they didn't hook up, that would be a huge disappointment.
Yeah, she ends up with just that weird guy that she meets halfway through the book.
Yeah. But like, Northanger Abbey, was that... I never read that one.
No, there's really only one guy. Like, there's another guy, but he's, like, meant to serve as, like, kind of like a bore. Like, he's, like, a jerk, and he's kind of, like...
Does every one of Austen's books have that setup?
Well, I'm thinking Mansfield Park might be different.
I never read that one.
I don't remember what the romance of that book was, if there even is one.
That was Fanny Price and her cousin, isn't it?
Yeah, but... yeah. I guess that one's a little different because the cousin's set up to marry somebody else at the beginning, I think.
That is one thing I have not had to worry about with, like, modern... I'm making air quotes around the word modern, but modern historical romances, nobody touches the cousin subject.
Yeah, that's a part of history. How come people don't talk about that?
They tend to avoid that, which I'm grateful for, because that's a little weird.
You have to get into, like, a very specific type of literature to end up with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the... Yeah, awkward transition and done. What else do you have to say about this book? What do you think of the author's style?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I have some issues, I guess. It's not that I have an issue with politics in books.
Okay.
But sometimes it feels just a little heavy-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Like, there's just... It's fine when there's, like, political statements and things like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes the characters will say something and then... I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, there was just, out of nowhere, there was a comment about how slavery sucks.
Yeah, I was thinking the same topic. Like,
Which it does. Do not get me wrong, it sucks.
Danni is pro-slavery. She's hiding her opinions.
It felt kind of, like, jarring, I guess.
Yeah, it's the idea of, like, throwing modern ideas into historical contexts.
Well, I don't have a problem, because that's a kind of a discussion that people have been having, is, like, updating, I guess, the mindset of historical romances for, like, women's rights and stuff, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when it feels, like, heavy-handed. Like, that sentence didn't really fit in the context of the situation.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, it was in there just to say it kind of thing. Yeah. Which is when it usually just, nothing wrong with it, it just kind of felt a little off the way it was put.
Yeah. I think while I would definitely not like a book where, like, slavery is portrayed as a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're trying to be historically accurate. I also, at the same time, I really don't like the idea of, like, hey, here's our modern values being shoved onto history, and, like, here's our character who is, like, would be woke by modern standards, which, like, you know, in the 1800s wouldn't even exist. Like, for me, stuff like that always just feels jarring, or, like, it messes with my suspension of disbelief, I guess I'd say.
Right. Well, there's a difference, I guess, if the characters were having a discussion about slavery, and then they said, you know, it's bad or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was an unrelated comment that just kind of came out.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, a common trope for modern historical romances is, like, heroines who break the mold.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, they're doing cool things, and that's awesome. I have no problem with that. But no, I have no problem with that when it, like, fits the context of the story.
Yeah.
But if it was just, like, a random one-off sentence about some political thing, it just doesn't kind of fit.
Yeah, I think I had a very similar problem to the updated Beauty and the Beast, like the live action one. I remember there was a few moments where, like, it would just feel like they were just randomly inserting something that, like, didn't really fit the context of the scene. Like, I feel like there's that one scene at the beginning where Belle's teaching that little girl how to read a book, and then somebody's like, "Oh, women can't read," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do anything."
Right.
And I remember just feeling like that felt so out of place, and, like,
it's not a there's no issues with the fact that women can read, but it's the way it feels, just like,
yeah,
stuffed in there just to...
Yeah, because I had no problem in the original that Belle was a bookworm who people made fun of.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, this girl's got her head in the clouds. She's reading all day.
Yeah.
But then it was just like
It's the making a statement just to make a statement.
There we go.
It's not... The statement is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's the way that it's being fit into the context of whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, what else can we talk about for this book?
I don't know. That's we're getting 20 minutes now.
20 minutes,
so don't have a whole lot else to say aside from it's a really good book and you should check it out.
So you would recommend it?
I would recommend it, yeah. Like I said, as long as things don't take a hard left, like in the last 30%.
Oh, that would be so funny if the if the book just takes this wild turn that's, like, super, like, problematic or just, like, very unenjoyable.
Yeah. Like, if it gets real weird, I don't know. I'll rescind my recommendation. But at this point in time, really good. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I definitely like the concept of, like, 80s style movies being portrayed in like a historical romance setting.
Yeah.
Or like not the actual movie, but like the tropes of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, how does the Breakfast Club trope fit into the story?
I think that it's gonna be like, because there's 5 guys, and this whole Breakfast Club situation kind of is what brought their group of friends together.
Okay.
I think each guy's gonna have their own book.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think that's how that's gonna work. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what I think the setup's gonna be.
Oh, okay.
So in this book, Sebastian, you saw like the gathering, the first time they all met through Sebastian's point of view in the prologue, and then the book's about Sebastian and his friend shows up, who's part of the Breakfast Club thing.
I see.
He's helping them out with their whole hot guy makeover. Did you ever see My Fair Lady?
Yeah, I saw it like on stage once.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, it was like a high school production. It wasn't like
it
Broadway
was.
or anything.
Oh, it wasn't the actual.
Yeah, it was still pretty good.
Okay.
And then I've read the original book Pygmalion.
Okay.
And yeah.
Cuz I wanted to, I guess it was a movie, right?
Yeah, with Audrey Hepburn.
I wanted to watch the movie until I found out that it like doesn't have the romance ending that I would want. So
Oh, that makes me more interested actually.
My Fair Lady?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I don't remember it.
Oh.
I don't remember the ending.
Okay.
And the Pygmalion ending is very not like that. It's very non-romantic ending at all.
Well, yeah, I think like I said, I've never seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure it's just like they go their separate ways kind of thing. She ends up engaged to somebody else, and then that's the end of the thing, which is not my ideal ending. But
I know that's the ending of Pygmalion.
yeah, so it seems like it's going to be pretty faithful to the Pygmalion.
But I thought the play was like, I thought that was a massive change in the play. Like they wanted to make it more friendly. But well, I might be totally wrong.
Well, the movie might not be like close to the play though.
Oh.
Either way, this is a romance novel, so it's guaranteed to have the ending that I want it to have. Hopefully. Still unconfirmed, but hopefully. I think this is not the first time I've seen like a romance novel that like takes the concept of like an old movie or whatever and flips the plot around or changes like little things here and there. And I've always kind of like really liked that about it.
Yeah.
Like it's very, you can't really do that if you're writing like a fantasy or fiction novel. I don't know if I've ever seen that anywhere else.
Okay.
Except for in like romance novels where you take the plot of like a movie from 30 years ago and you spin it around and write a book with similar, I guess, what do you call them? Plot beats and things like that.
Yeah.
But
so just doing a little research.
Yeah.
Apparently a modern version of My Fair Lady takes out the romantic ending because they're showing that like, oh, it's there's a power differential between Eliza and Higgins.
Yeah. And
so it's like it's more woke to not have them end up together.
Right.
In the original movie, they do end up together, but she threatens to marry somebody else and then they reconcile.
Is that
the 1960s movie? And then the original book is there's no romance between them at all. And then I think she realizes that they've just been playing her as like a bet.
Right.
And like they don't care about her future at all. And it's kind of like she like lectures them and then leaves, and then Higgins is like, oh, I can't remember how this book ends. He doesn't say that. That's what I say.
Wait, so in the original, the Pygmalion, it was like they made a bet?
Yeah, they made a bet that they could turn like a Cockney, like lower class woman into like a high society member.
Right.
And then Eliza thought they were educating her for her own good.
Right.
And then at the end, she kind of finds out what's going on, and she's very unhappy. And it's like a long lecture of how the upper class like treats the lower class and stuff. And
right.
It's very downbeat ending.
Yeah, so there's no like betting in this one. It's like, I want to help my friend out, so I'm gonna make myself attractive and rich looking and oh no, I have feelings for my friend now. And oh, she realized I was hot, and now she kind of likes me a little more.
I hate when that happens. All right, well, we're at the 25-ish minute mark.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a super long one today, because I didn't finish the book, and that's my bad.
And we are at the end of November.
Yes.
Which means next podcast will come out in December.
Yes.
That is how months work. But
correct.
We are, I don't know if we're doing it for all of December, but we are planning on doing a few like Christmassy, holiday-ish stories.
Yeah.
To kind of add some, I don't know, pizzazz to the, what would you call it? Some holiday flavor to the podcast.
Some holiday cheer.
Some eggnog spice.
Some fruitcake.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So tune in or whatever. Danni, what's...
I'm or whatever, sick. You know.
I'm sick. I'm already bad at doing like transitions and stuff, but the sickness like makes it worse. Danni, where can people find us?
People can find us on Facebook, Literary AF. We are on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, Literary AF. The podcast Twitter is LiteraryAFPod Twitter, and my Twitter is Danni_reads.
Great. And was there anything else we usually talk about at the end of episodes?
Our Gmail is
LiteraryAFPod. How long have we been doing this? I forgot how it works. 44 episodes.
LiteraryAFPod@gmail.com is our Gmail.
Okay. Send us emails or questions.
Yeah.
Or, well, send us an email. If you're sending us a question, it has to be in an email.
Yeah, you got to do it in email format.
Yeah, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
You can just tell my brain is slowly melting in my head.
It's a Monday, so schedule's a little thrown off. It's a little weird.
Mondays, am I right? Am I right, Garfield? Okay. Well, thanks for listening, and tune in next week when we talk about a different book.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing, but
yeah, it's kind of everything's up in the air right now, but
a little bit.
Trust us when we say
there'll be
books involved. All right.
All right. Bye.